Hey everyone, Bernie Jaroslow here with WhipMix. Welcome to WhipMix Quick Takes, where we chat with industry leaders, dentists, lab owners, manufacturers, distributors, everyone we can get a hold of to see how they're getting along during this whole COVID crisis, and what most importantly they think our future looks like after the crisis is over. So today I have the pleasure of speaking with Gary Iocco, a good friend known to many. Gary is the chair of Apex Dental Laboratory Group with 13 dental laboratories across the US. He's well versed in dentistry, medical devices, and industry trends. Gary sat on the board of the Identalloy Idenceram Council and is a trustee on the Foundation for Dental Laboratory Technology. He was also previously president of the Midwest Dental Lab Association, and as you probably know, president of the National Association of Dental Laboratories in 2016. How are you, Gary?
I'm doing well, Bernie. How about yourself?
Doing fine. So far, so good. Healthy, and just kind of a little bored like everyone without our favorite restaurants to go to and all of that, but healthy, and that's the main thing. Family healthy and good?
My family's good. My wife is very, very busy. She is, her job is disease prevention and control. So this is, she's been working overtime, and she works hand in hand with the CDC and the Minnesota Board of Health. So she's pretty busy lately. Kids are doing well. How's Janet doing?
She's great. She's working full time and in the office all the time. I'm working mostly out of home, but I do occasionally come into the office here, and I'm here today, so it was a good time to catch up and talk to you about what's happening in your world, in your 13 dental laboratories. What is happening with all the labs?
Well,
Labs?
we are, all of our labs are open per se. Some have one person at them, others have two or three, depending on what we're seeing, what kind of work. We are pretty much farming out some of our work to a couple of labs. A couple of labs are doing our fixed, and a couple are doing our removable, those type of things. So we're doing what we can to help our clients and help the patients, for the essential services.
Right. So obviously you've thought about what's going to happen when it's time to reopen. We all know that there are going to be changes for sure. We don't know exactly what they will be. Some are very positive and some may be very negative. So the question for you is, what do you see our landscape look like in the dental laboratory future once we're back?
Well, once we're back, speaking with my clients now, they're saying, get ready, because we are really going to be busy. They're going to be very, very busy with catching up per se. But my concern is, patients for the last 6-8 weeks have been hearing, don't go in a dental office. It's the worst thing you can do. So how many of the patients are going to be able to come in? I just stopped and dropped off a case at a client's office, and we're printing face shields right now. And so the issue is, how can we get them to fit loops if they're wearing loops? So we had a couple of prototypes I sent out to a client. I just stopped out today, and they seemed to work. And he just had 2 patients come in. And I said, what are you going to do to open up? And he showed me a 2-page list with probably 20 questions on one page and then a disclaimer on another page for the patients to fill out. They're going to take everyone's temperature before they come in, the waiting room, and then fill out these 2 pages. And like they said, we are not going to see any COVID positive patients. We're not going to see them. So some of the things that are being recommended by either it's the CDC or OSHA, are a lot for operating rooms, for hospitals that are going to see COVID positive patients that they're going to be doing procedures on, which a couple of weeks ago, the OSHA came out with different edicts saying that, negative pressure rooms should be used when you're working on a COVID positive patient. Well, the Minnesota Board of Dentistry posted that, and there's some confusion because, first of all, if the patient is COVID positive, they're not going to work on them.
Right.
And
Who's going to?
there,
Yeah.
yeah, and what dentist has a negative pressure room? I mean, our hospital in town has one. So,
Right.
you know, nobody's going to be able to open if that's the case. So there's been some back and forth, and you know, everybody is learning as we go. It seems like every hour there's a different issue coming up, and how long does it last? Where does it stay? You know, how long do the droplets, how far do the droplets extend when someone coughs or sneezes? So
Yeah.
those things are all, it's all brand new to all of us. So I think we'll get to a situation where they're looking at a face shield and a surgical mask if they can't get an N95 for doctors and their staff. So it's, how's it going to change us? I think PPE is going to change dramatically, both for the laboratories and for the practitioners.
I agree with you. You know, I had one of these conversations with Bennett Napier, and he made an interesting suggestion. He said he thinks that the messaging that dentists need to get to their patients in order to get patients back in the chair needs to be worked out with the laboratories. That the labs that can get the right help with the right messaging to their accounts, their dentists, will be very valuable. Will be very, you know, for the dentist. So I think that's probably true. The messaging is important because, you know, dentists, or rather patients who are not in the dental world, you know, it's bad enough, it's tough enough to go to the dentist. It's not one of the favorite things for people. But in addition to that, now with this worry about COVID-19 and being in a chair with their mouth wide open and sprays everywhere, as you referenced with the droplet distance and all, that's a real concern. And perhaps lab owners can help with the messaging with their accounts. I thought that was a good suggestion from Bennett.
Well, and I know I've spoken with Bennett several times in the last few weeks, and the NADL is working hand in hand with the ADA. And the ADA
Right.
has finally said, hey, we need some help. You know,
Yeah.
now they want us to be on a team, hopefully, so that we can work hand in hand much better. And I think one of the positives that will come out of this will be a better association between the Laboratory Association and the ADA, you know, the American Dental Association, those type of things. The Minnesota Dental Association has reached out to labs asking, can you help us with PPE? What can you do? So two of our labs are printing a face shield that goes over your, it's a mask holder, let's say that way. And you
Mm-hmm.
have your mask, so it custom fit. We use the Bellus 3D.
Bellus,
The
yeah.
Bellus that you folks are, you know, that Whitmix is working with very closely. And so they scan that with a iPhone 10 or 11 and then send it to us. So it's kind of a crisscross pattern that will fit their face, and they can put a mask underneath it. So this will have, so if they don't have any masks at all, they can use a mask type material, some type of cloth, so that they can operate.
That has exploded in popularity all of a sudden. We're also making PPEs. We're making face masks, face shields, the swabs for testing.
Very nice.
But yeah, we're giving them to local hospitals. We've done thousands, and it's you know, I'm very proud of that. I think it's a great thing that the companies do. I love that laboratories that print are doing this kind of thing. The other thing is the form fitting or custom fit mask that you talk about. Yes, that's what from Bellus, and we're the distributor for Bellus. This was their
Yes.
own thing, nothing to do with Mixed, but they developed it, and we have a lot of customers and friends that that we're helping out with this. So I think it's a great thing. It makes a lot of sense to form fit.
When I saw the Bellus presentation at CalLab at in Chicago for midwinter, that's
Right.
going to be, it's going to be unbelievable for us on the different issues we can use now, or different areas we can use that have issues. It's going to be, I think it's going to be very, very good. And I appreciate Whitmix stepping up and taking that leap of faith to
Yeah,
carry those. Yeah.
very
So
different, very. And I will say that one thing that Lee Culp mentioned was at his lab, and we were talking about this. But what's interesting is he said the perfect thing with it. He said, you know, the one thing that labs have been missing all these years is the patient. And Bellus literally puts the patient on the screen with the proper orientation of the jaws and the teeth and so on. So you really literally have the patient. It completes the picture. So anyway, we're really happy. We're a little off topic, but I will say that that is a big game changer.
And
So very happy.
but look how they've stepped up in this time of need and said, okay, we're going to have our designers design something that labs can use, for PPE, and send
Love
it
it.
to the doctors. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Pretty sharp people that work there. Direct from Apple, working for many years for Apple, developing the cameras for the phones, all that. But anyway, so the other thing is your labs, you have a skeleton crew or a very small crew working. What are they doing for precautions? Are they wearing masks? Are they wearing shields? What do they
So
do?
we are using the same precautions that we always have in a dental lab. We've been through H1N1, we've been through the Ebola, AIDS,
Right.
tuberculosis, that when anything comes in, it's disinfected.
Yeah.
And, we use, for our local pickup and delivery, we use cardboard boxes, and those are stored for 5 days, some 7 days, depending. But now we're going to go 7 days for everything. All right. We'll have Institute for our drivers coming on now when we're starting pickup and delivery. We'll have plastic bags that they'll have the staff put the boxes in a plastic bag so that they're not touching anything. Because people say, well, wear gloves. Well, they're going to have a different set of gloves for every pickup and delivery. You just
Exactly.
don't wear gloves all day, one set, and think, oh, they're
Right.
protected. No, you get it on the glove, those type of things. So we do training. We do yearly training, usually every 6 months. Anything that comes up with all of our staff in all of our laboratories, including our drivers for OSHA. We call OSHA in to all of our laboratories to do voluntary investigation. Have them come in and do everything, just like it was the enforcement side of OSHA. But I recommend that to every laboratory and every dentist we do business with. Call OSHA, and they have a separate education division that will come in. Now, one caveat, our lab in Illinois, OSHA told us it'll be 6 months, and then 6 months later, they said, sorry, we're not coming in. State of Illinois doesn't have any money for us. So, otherwise, we have OSHA come into all of our laboratories, and we do bloodborne pathogen training. In addition to that, we asked if you wear masks. Now, there's a little misnomer going around that, I can just wear an N95 mask. And N95 there's different classifications also of N95 masks. But
There are.
in order to do that, you have to fill out a health questionnaire. It's an OSHA form that you have to fill out, and then a doctor has to review that and give you the approval to wear the mask. 3M will do it on their website. You can go on their website. It's either $25 or $35 per person. I think 24 hours, they'll get that back to you. But then you have to have a fit test done. And people aren't realizing this. You'll put a mask on and you'll put a hood on. And then there's different flavors, they call different tastes, that they put in that hood to see if you can taste it or you can smell it. Is it coming in? So does that mask fit appropriately? Now with this stuff around here, I haven't shaved. I'm not shaving until we can go back to work. It's just my little thing of rebelling, but it wouldn't fit because with any facial hair, you can't get a good seal. So just to say, go wear an N95 mask, if people have pulmonary issues, excuse me, it's a big word for me. If they have issues like that, they probably can't wear an N95 mask because it does, you're breathing, you don't get all that airflow that you normally would. So we have suction, we have face shields, we have masks if they want to wear surgical masks, those type of things. So everyone is well trained. We have partitions in front, they grind in back of that. So then the suction takes that up. So we think that we're very well prepared, and we've been doing it for years and years. So it's just another precaution.
I think you're taking the right precautions and protecting your people best you can. And I hope that they're all back at work as soon as possible. This is a nightmare for sure for all of us, but I think we're going to see the end of it in the hopefully not too distant future.
I think so too. I think Minnesota is looking at May 4th And all my clients I speak with, they have patients scheduled on the 4th and the 5th. So if our governor is going to extend it, I believe he needs to do it this Friday. Friday is the day he usually extends our stay in place. So I think restaurants in Minnesota are closed until the middle of May. No large gatherings, all the things that you're hearing from other states. But I believe our
Sure.
dental offices will be able to operate if they have the proper PPE. So, we talked about a month ago, how can we, when it first started hitting about PPEs, let's see what we can do with our printers. Well, and so we can print. We thought, 100, 200 will be tops, here or there. We have orders for over 2,500 right now.
Yeah.
So we're calling our friends in the industry saying, hey, do you have any space available on your printers? Because we want to get these out. So we're trying. We're shipping, 100 and some a day. That's all we can print. So it's been a yeoman's effort, I think, by our dental lab professionals, really helping out.
Well, good for you and good for them. I think that's probably one of the best things that labs have stepped up and done is to help with the PPEs. Goodness knows our medical personnel certainly need them. So that's good. Good for you. Good on you, as they say.
I had 4 N95 masks here. I called our local hospital. I said, I've got 4. Can you use them? It was like they just hit the lottery. Please, we'll come pick them up right now. I said, no, I'll drop them off. Don't worry. Nobody's going to short stop. There's 4. So we're getting orders. People are saying, I need 3,000, 4,000 face shields. I said, we can't do that. That's just not, there's just no way you'll get it in December.
But you're doing what you're doing, which is
We're
awesome.
trying.
And everybody thanks you for that great effort. And I thank you for joining me. This is always fun. This will be posted on social media, and we'll get it on within the next week or so, maybe 2. We've got a bunch of them going. But I will say it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and it's really a pleasure to see you, since we can't
Bernie,
do that in person.
It's my pleasure, and I can't wait to get to Louisville and come to Louis and listen to you play the drums.
I look forward to it. Gary,
Have
you
a great
take care of
day.
yourself. We'll see you.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.